Welcome to Raising Healthy Kids in an Unhealthy World. We have a very special guest with us today. His name is Fran Turk, and he's joining us this early morning on Saturday for him from Costa Rica all the way. So thank you so much for being here, Fran. Thank you for being here. I know that little baby is sleeping somewhere, the little toddler, and your wife is also pregnant and about to deliver. And I was like praying that it just holds on for another 24 hours. And there she is. Hi, Katalina. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Very, very good. Good morning. Good to see you.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining today. And I just want to give a little brief introduction. Katalina and Fran are a real aspirational power couple. They're two passionate health enthusiasts who, after many of their own personal health challenges, have found a path to optimal health and well-being. And that's how they're bringing up their kids. And also that's how they are bringing themselves up, if I can say that. And they believe that humans have an incredible potential, and their mission is to help you discover so you can live an empowered life. By healing ourselves, we heal the world. And I completely 100% resonate with that. Catalina is a yoga instructor, holistic therapist, certified health and life coach with a degree in humanistic psychology. She loves children, nature, being active, and getting to know new people. Fran is an acupuncturist, holistic therapist, energy healer, health and life coach, and loves being social, loves animals and meditation and playing sports. And they want to help as many people as possible to return to their true divine nature and optimal health. And this is the bio that was sent to me, but I also want to say something from my side. I joined Fran and Catalina's program, and they help people to come on to a healthier living path. They do health education, and they do a lot of deep work with individuals. And I really enjoyed being on their program, and it has helped me to go more raw in my own life because I was struggling a lot with cravings, and it really helped me make progress. So thank you again, both of you, for doing what you do.
Our pleasure, our pleasure.
Would you like to say a little bit about yourselves from your own side?
Sure. So first of all, welcome everyone. Welcome. It's a joy to be here. I hope you get the most out of this. You get inspired, you get action steps, you get, things to improve your life. And ultimately, it's all about improving your life through diet, through lifestyle, through mindset, and I hope you get value out of this. So yes, from our side, we're a couple. We're together for 7 years now. Seven. Our daughter, she's 3 years old, and we're raising her very healthy. She's never been to the doctor yet. We, every once in a while, we take her to do some checkups, checkup, I mean, height and weight, just because it's fun. But we never had to go to the doctor for our baby. And that's not only good for her, but it's also good for us, the parents. It's like more relaxing. We're not in SOS mode, and it's really beneficial for us, the parents, not only for her. So, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey to go upgrading our diet, but because we wanted to, at least me, I wanted to feel better in my body. And yes, the changes are real. The changes are real, are tangible. I can feel them in my body. I don't go to the doctor. I don't have symptoms. I don't have disease. I don't have mucus, fever, all that stuff that most humans experience at least once per year or more. It just disappears because we are like all other animals in nature. We're meant to be healthy and thriving. And the only animals that get sick are our pets, that we give them processed dried food, and humans. But if not, all the animals in nature are thriving with a fit body, we can say. And nature and God and life has the same desire for us. It's our nature to be healthy and thriving. So there's no reason why not to.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So I wanted to ask you the title of our talk today, A Fruitful Conversation. Basically, it's a series that I run with various people who are living on a high fruit kind of a lifestyle. And so it's like once a month. So we are talking about raising a healthy family in an unhealthy world. So can you speak a little bit to that? What are some of the challenges of raising a healthy family, and why is the world unhealthy? Like, what is your view on that as a father, as someone who's raising a family?
Okay. So, well, why the world is pretty unhealthy? It's because the consciousness has lowered so much. We are now starting to how do you say, make it higher, right? We're awakening. The world is awakening every time there's more yoga. Well, here we have many guests from India in this call, and in India there's been more wisdom than in the Western world, right? So yoga there, maybe it's more common. Meditation is maybe more common. But in the Western world, in the Americas, it's starting to, well, it already started, this awakening. So consciousness is awakening, but we're coming from a very low consciousness. If you see humanity a couple of decades ago or 100 years ago, right? They were all killing each other, and we are awakening. So the world is unhealthy. Just my view is a reflection of our consciousness. So that's our task also. It's kind of our responsibility to be part of the awakening, to be helping others awaken. So
what are the challenges of raising a family in a world which is not really conducive to how you want to live? So what are the real challenges there? Maybe Katalina can speak to
Yeah, I think the challenges so far for us with raising Summer has been like social events, or Summer just started joining a kindergarten, and the food that they give there is usually not ideal. It's not real food, especially at the birthday parties. And we always say, you know, this is a celebration of life. We should really be celebrating with the healthiest foods possible. And usually at birthday parties, it's like the most unhealthy food that you could possibly have. And we see our daughter like just really interested now in experimenting with that stuff. And then she gets, you know, and then we find it hard to say no because everyone else is doing it. So that's been probably our biggest challenge, is social situations. But we don't go so often, and we try to choose. I think a good way is to choose smartly which social situations you go to, and also it's important who you surround yourself with. So who are your friends? Who are your, like, what are these parties like that you go to? And if you're connecting with other like-minded conscious people, more likely they're going to have fruit there, right? At the last birthday party we went to, it was like all fruit basically, so that was good. But I think that's our biggest challenge so far. And maybe in the school, what the other kids bring, you know, like the other kids bring horrible food, and so we bring Summer has like either 2 or 3 mangoes every day for lunch in her lunchbox, or papaya or pineapple, and she kind of has to sit like alone, so that like, and they kind of put her in this little secluded area because everyone else is eating junk food. And
Well, they put her with the other kids that also eat more fruits.
okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
she's not so secluded. I
Yeah.
would say that the not only the biggest challenge, but I would say that it's almost the only challenge is social events.
Okay. Hmm.
I would say that it's
Yeah.
not so complicated because at home she will eat what we're eating, and
And
that's
she
the key.
loves it, right? She's been
She loves it.
eating it ever since she's been a baby.
Every night she asks for her avocado, for her cucumber, tomatoes. We give her some seeds crackers that we buy, which are raw vegan seed crackers, dehydrated. She loves them. She thrives. And so at home, it's very easy. The challenges are the social events that we've been learning how to deal with them, right? Because in the
Yeah.
beginning, we're like, oh no, suffering. And now, at least me and also Catalina, we've been learning to relax, to relax a little bit in the social events and understand that it's not the end of the world. If she eats a little bit of this or that, her body can deal with it.
Yeah.
Her body can deal with it. So this is a very important key that I want to share with everyone that to eat healthy and be healthy and change your habits. Sometimes you get blocked because you want to do everything perfect or everything good, and the truth is it's important what you do 95% of the time,
Yeah.
of your meals. So don't let the little things block you into making changes.
Yes. Yes, that's great. So I wanted to ask both of you, what made you come on this path? Because as you said, Fran, that you've had a very conventional upbringing where there was the usual bread, potatoes, meat, cheese, all that milk and all that kind of stuff. So what made you, and also Catalina, what made you come on this path? What was your personal journey?
I start? Okay, I start. So very briefly, in my 20s, I was feeling really tired, no energy, feeling lethargic all the time. And I was like, I'm in my 20s. I'm supposed to be energetic. If not now, when? And I was into a spiritual path. So I was trying meditation to regain my energy, emotional healing. I was trying yoga, Tai Chi, different modalities. And everything was great, but nothing worked to regain the level of energy and vitality that I knew I could. And one day, some friends came home to have dinner. I was vegan and gluten free in that moment, and they ordered pizza. And at the end of and I ordered a Hindu dish, by the way. And at the end of the night, they had leftovers, and I got really, really tempted. So I went alone inside. I grabbed the pieces of pizza. I wasn't eating cheese for 3 years in that moment, gluten for 3 years. And I ate like 4 or 5 pieces of their leftovers. And I was like, wow. And the next day I wake up and I was feeling like still like super full, like my belly was full the next day. And
Yeah.
intuitively I said, today I'm not eating, just drinking water. And and at night for dinner, I said, I'm gonna have a banana meal. Like I never knew anything about fruit meals or fruitarianism. No, this is 7 years ago.
Mm.
And I had a banana meal and I felt amazing, satisfied. I enjoyed it. I I had energy for the first time. The overeating the pizza the night before was a blessing because the next day I tried this and I felt so good. And I said, wow. And I really enjoyed it, by the way. Not eating one banana, I ate like 6, 7 bananas in a row. So I searched, like, can you live on fruits? And I found a whole world out there, right? So many people doing it. And there's this branch of biology and science called natural hygiene, which is made by naturopaths and smart, real doctors. and it's all science-based, and it's real. It's real. And I started learning, educating myself, and understanding that yes, you can live on fruits and simple salads, some greens. I said, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm gonna try it. So the next day I started trying it. I started feeling so good, finally. So I grabbed my beans, the rice, the chickpea. I gave it all to my brother. Here you have. I don't want to cook anymore. I'm gonna try this. And finally, at the age of 30, my energy skyrocketed, and I never went back. Never went back.
Amazing,
It's been
amazing.
an amazing journey. I want to clarify. In the middle, yes, it's tempting. Some cooked foods are tasty. So in the middle, every once in a while, I ate something cooked, not for nutrition, just for pleasure. It didn't affect much my energy because it's every once in a while. And this is important because this is important before I give the microphone to Catalina to share her story. Because I see this block. Many people sometimes don't take the steps in the direction towards health because they don't want to give up everything, or they're scared, like, I have to do everything perfect. And again, no, you don't have to be 100% or do 100% anything. Just start, and life will go taking you. And it's not like totalitarianism, 100% everything. You can go experimenting, and you're gonna see the changes happening in the body, and that will motivate you and support you to continue the path.
Okay,
So
thank you very much. I would love to hear Catalina's story now.
Yeah, okay. So I had met Fran, and he had told me a little bit about this lifestyle, and I was interested, but yeah, I didn't want to make any huge changes. I thought it was all a little too like drastic for me, but I went incorporating little things. And then one December morning, I was riding my bike, and a fruit truck came up next to me, and we were together at the red light. Anyway, this fruit truck ran me over, and I broke 30 bones, and I suffered a lot. I was in the hospital for 2 months on bed rest, and really didn't know what to do, how to heal, and what to do to advance the process, because it was a very every day felt like an eternity in the hospital. And then I was going to have to do rehab, and Fran told me, why don't you try the fruit diet now? This is a perfect time.
Because the doctors were saying that you needed many surgeries to fix your bones and your body.
I couldn't move my hands. I was stiff. I was just stuck. And they were feeding me a vegan food in the hospital. That was nice, but I wasn't really healing, So right when I got out of the hospital is when I went on the fruit diet and started healing exponentially fast. I had to learn to walk again, the walker, wheelchair, crutches, and then just this lifestyle really, there's a sloth. There's a sloth outside of our door.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This lifestyle really just speeded up my recovery, and I started healing. The doctors were doing x-rays, and they're like, what are you doing to improve yourself, because you're going so fast. And it was just from my diet, because once you give your body the food that it really needs, your body does all the work. It does all the healing. So I was getting out of my body's way by eating this way, so my body could heal and do everything it did on its own. I didn't need the doctors anymore. I didn't need the hospital. I just needed time and fruit and some fasting. I did a little water fast, and now my body's working perfectly. 39 weeks pregnant, and
Wow, amazing.
um,
And that's
yeah,
the little one.
there's Summer. She just
Summer, how are
now.
you?
So yeah, so that was my story. And then after discovering that, I said, wow, I need to help other people heal their bodies this way after seeing all the power
Yeah,
that I experienced and all the healing energies. It was really beautiful.
amazing.
The whole
Amazing.
family now.
The whole family now. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
Catalina's story is
You've
very
you're pregnant now, and even when you were having summer, like were you raw and on fruit the whole time, or how was it, and how was your experience?
Yeah, I've been fruit-based the entire time, and my pregnancy with Summer was perfect, beautiful, symptom-free, no morning sickness, anything like that. And really, really good pregnancy. Summer, super healthy. And now with this pregnancy, it's a little different because I'm just a little more tired because I have a toddler. But still fruit-based, and that's the food that makes me feel the best in my body. If I ever do, when I'm pregnant and I'm eating other foods, my body right away tells me it's not the way to go.
So what happens? Like what symptoms do you experience in your body when you, let's say, eat something? Is it like
Yeah,
cooked, or is it like, I don't know,
yeah,
what is it?
if I have anything else besides fruit,
Like a salad?
yeah, no, salad is
something
perfect.
Huh.
Yeah, something cooked like at a social event, or my stomach hurts, I don't go to the bathroom as well, I can't
So what is
sleep.
it that you would have eaten that makes that happen?
Yeah, maybe some veggies, or maybe like at a party they would have some like dried food, I don't know,
Yeah.
or they might have some rice. Or here in Costa Rica, lots of people eat beans. So it just
Yeah.
really lowers my energy and makes my body not feel optimal.
and heartburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, heartburn.
And you
during
start
pregnancy.
burping.
Heartburn. Hmm.
Yeah, my body tells me right away, like, that's not the way to go.
So
And when I eat fruit and salads, my body works perfectly and I feel really, really, really good in my body. So I see it really drastically, especially pregnant. I think especially now the baby is so attuned and the baby's letting me know also what the baby likes.
hmm.
Summer, we actually, for the first year of her life, we breastfed her only for the first 12 months, not even any
Wow.
fruit. And that was definitely an experience too, because usually it's 6 months, 3 months,
Yes.
you start giving your baby's food. We waited for a year, and
Till she developed teeth,
right.
Yeah.
because that's the indication that the body is ready to start chewing, which means they can digest properly the foods.
Yeah.
So what did you experience differently with Summer, bringing her up on mother's milk and then, on fruits and so on? How is she different from other babies and other toddlers?
Mm. I think she's lots more energy.
Mm.
She has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Um,
She sleeps way less than the average babies. Like
Right.
we hear all the time that friends tell us they sleep 12 hours, 11 hours. She sleeps 8, 9 hours and she's like awake, happy, energetic, playing, running, jumping. She's very fit. She's very strong. That's one of the qualities most people say. She's like mad, like
Wow.
strong.
definitely also not getting sick, you know. Most of the other kids are getting sick like all the time and they have lots of mucus. Like,
Yeah, a lot of sniffles,
Okay.
colic pain, all those ear
Oh.
infections, you know, all those
Yeah.
things that happen to kids.
Yeah, we never experienced the colic pain, never, ever. Because also her milk, when she was breastfeeding, was also very clean milk. We never experienced that. And the truth is, we not only are helping Summer, our daughter, but it also is so beneficial for us. It makes it so easy for us.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, and we never have to fight over her food because we know what she likes. You know, a lot of parents are always fighting with their kids over like what meals to give them. And we never, I mean, Summer's so excited about every meal she has.
Yeah, yeah. Some parents like, come on, you have to eat, you have to
Yeah,
eat.
you
Come
have to
on,
eat
like,
this vegetable. Oh, you have
this
to do this.
broccoli or this
Yeah.
whatever.
The other day, a mom asked me, like, how do you get her to eat veggies? And I say, I don't. Like, I don't make her eat veggies because she doesn't like them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
because she doesn't like them
What
in their raw
is
state.
like, what's a typical day when, you know, she's at home? What
Yeah.
feed
So right now
her?
she
And-
just had like half a water. No, she had a quarter of a watermelon
It's a
right
small
now.
one.
She has coconut water throughout the day. She has for
All
lunch.
types of fruits, I
Yeah.
would say.
For lunch,
Yes.
she'll have like 2 or 3 mangoes or half a papaya or half a pineapple. And then snack time, maybe she'll have like banana ice cream. She loves banana ice cream, just frozen banana in the food processor.
Or,
That's
Yeah.
it.
or bananas also.
Yeah.
The truth is that she doesn't have very marked the meals like us, like adults. It's
Mm.
like eating kind of very often
But
during the
she's
day.
hungry.
She's growing, it makes sense. So she's like eating fruits, different fruits all day long. And the only thing that keeps a pattern is at night. She likes to eat avocado, avocado with tomato and cucumber and these crackers, these seeds crackers,
Seed
and
crackers.
she eats it so happy. She loves it. She asks for it. So we never had this issue
So
of
she's eating
struggling.
almost the same thing every night.
Yes, surprisingly, yes. She eats the
Okay.
same thing every night. I ask her, do you want to eat this? Do you want to eat other things? And she's like, nope.
No.
Avocado and crackers and the cucumber. Oh, yeah, and sometimes she eats a little bit of our salad. She eats some sushi wraps, you know, the
Yeah.
sushi nori wraps.
Yeah, my favorite
sometimes-
at the moment.
Yeah, we eat them sometimes to change the type of, instead of a
Yes.
salad, do that, and she eats that. Yeah, there are a couple of variations that go changing a little bit during the dinner, but it's generally the same. I don't get scared like, oh, she needs more variety or she needs to change. No, because she's so in tune with her body. Kids are so in tune with her body that if she needs a different nutrient or something different, her body will ask for it. She will start craving other things. Oh, and sometimes she had moments where she was eating raw broccoli. She had a moment also she was eating raw cauliflower. Then this passed. Then she stopped asking for it. Oh, and she loves her snacks are also cashews, raw cashews, and some seeds, pistachios. Yeah,
Okay.
like nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds she also eats,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but not yet, not so much. So she has a variety of things actually. Maybe she has even more variety than the typical other kids eating a typical stuff, right?
Because it's
Maybe
all bread, white flour, sugar,
exactly.
milk.
I grew up eating the same exact breakfast every day of my life. Bread with butter and a cup of cow milk with 3 scoops of sugar and chocolate Nesquik. Destroyed my ears. You know, the ear infection.
No meeting can be complete without this question, right? Where does she
Yes.
get the protein and calcium?
Where did she get
Everybody
it?
is so fixated on protein and calcium as if that is the only thing that exists in the world. So, can we just cover that real quick and then we'll go on to some good, real questions?
Yes. So where does she get her protein? You want me to answer?
Yeah.
So first of all, we have to understand that every cell in their nucleus is made of protein. So whatever she or us we're eating, we're actually eating protein because every cell of food has protein. It has less protein than concentrated sources, but it still has. So understanding that, she's getting her protein from whatever she's eating. The only way to not get protein is by not eating. And
Correct.
still the body has something called a protein pool, which means that the body goes recycling protein from our bodies, from cells that the body goes recycling. So it extracts the protein, sends it to a protein pool, and so we have like 70% of our protein is recycled. And the last thing to understand is that our protein needs have been exaggerated by the industries that sell protein products. Of course, makes sense. If I'm selling phones, what I'm gonna say that you need them, right? If I'm selling this, yeah, you need a bottle. Whatever you people sell, we're gonna people try to create the need. So with food and diet, it's very easy. You just pay the government bodies like, hey, say this, and yeah, and it worked. It worked. I know so many, most people, they're scared of not getting protein, and when they stop eating concentrated protein, they start feeling better. That's the truth.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
our
That is the truth.
many of our clients that we coach, that they're taking, maybe they're even raw vegan, they're eating fruits, but they still are taking protein powders. And I'm like, try not to for a couple of days. And then they say, Fran, I'm feeling with more energy, I'm feeling better. Like, yes, that's how it works.
Yes. Yes.
Like, never heard of someone having a protein deficiency.
It doesn't
Yes.
exist.
It doesn't exist except in famine or something, when, like Fran said, you're not getting enough food. But it doesn't
Yeah,
actually exist. In fact, I was talking to somebody from my community. She is a doctor, an allopathic doctor. And I asked her how many, cases she's heard of that people have been hospitalized because of protein deficiency. And she said, in my entire career, not even one.
there you go. There you go.
You know?
And one last thing, milk. So the moment of life, this is for everyone, very interesting to understand. The moment in life where the human body grows the most, guess when it is? You know,
When you're
Nandini, when it
born.
is?
When you're born.
Yeah, exactly. The first year of your life. The first
Yes.
year of your life, the human body triples its size. And what's the main nutrient, the main food that babies eat? Human milk.
Yes.
Mother's milk. How much protein does human milk have? 1%.
Yeah,
1%.
0.9 to be exact.
Exactly. So yes.
Just
I
1%, and
or
cow's milk has much more than that, right? 4 or 5%. Because
yes,
it is meant for a bovine animal that is going to go from 30 kilos to 300 kilos, in like a couple of years. So human beings
yes,
are not going to that, hopefully, and definitely not in a couple of years. So just don't need that. It's just something that has been conditioned into us.
yes, and cow milk, unfortunately, it's very different composition from what human needs are. So as you said, they go to 300 kilos, and also they have 4 stomachs.
Yeah.
So the cow milk is completely unsuitable for us. It's completely not designed. So for all listeners here, if you want to improve your health, the number one thing that you should drop is dairy, all dairy products, and you will see your health going up.
A lot of people over here are quite addicted to two things that they're very reluctant to quit. One is curd, because that's very much part of the Indian meal. And this is the unflavored yogurt, not the sweet or anything like that. And the other thing is, which is unique to India, is ghee, which is
And
the
ghee,
fat, the fat
yes,
from the
the
milk.
fat from butter.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the fat from butter. So those are the two things that people think are very healthy for you, because curd they think is, it's got, all this marketing around probiotics and all of that. And ghee, somehow traditionally people believe, you got to hear this. They believe that it lubricates your joints. This is the belief in India, that this
Can you
fat from the butter lubricates their joints, as if they eat it and it applies to their joints. So, what would
Yeah.
you say about these or other myths around dairy?
Seems like for me, the best way to lubricate your joints is with high water content foods. And the food that is, I mean, what is found in these animal products are for the animals. They're not for us, right? And they clog our arteries, they're super fatty, they lower our energy. Our bodies aren't
People,
made for it.
people can just try it. Have a whole day on curd and cheese and ghee and
Yeah.
what have you, and see how your body feels. And have a whole day on fruits and maybe some salad in the evening, and see how your body feels. It's not rocket science. The body is
Yeah.
already speaking to us. It's telling us what is good for us, right?
Yeah. Yes, I want to make a couple of points regarding this. One, which this opened my mind so much, and I want everyone to hear this. So there's different levels of health and healthy foods. So people, the most people are at the bottom, right? Eating whatever there is. So then they start having a little bit of desire to improve their diet, or they hear something here, something there. And actually they go to the next level, which is ghee, which is eating less processed, which is eating more like beans and lentils, and they stop eating meat. And for example, in India, there is a lot the Ayurveda. Oh, if you eat Ayurveda, at least in the Americas, and they will say, oh, Ayurveda is so healthy. Yes,
That's
this,
right.
that. I went to the macrobiotic diet thinking it was super healthy because that's what they claim. So that's the other level. And people think that that's healthy or the most healthy thing. But there is another level, the real healthy one, which is what we're trying to transmit today and with our lives, which is the fruit-based and the raw vegan, which, by the way, it's more simple. It's more simple. It makes life so easy. And it's another level. And the people get stuck in the middle level, in the one thinking that they're eating healthy when it's healthier than what they were doing before, but it's still far, very far from optimal, from regaining the level of health and vitality that you can have. Does that make sense for everyone? So,
Absolutely. I'd like to ask you something. People who are watching today, they are far, 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 far away from where you guys are, right? All of us. So, suppose probably they have kids who are already addicted to Coke and pizza and bread and meat and eggs and dairy products, and they're probably giving it to them thinking it's really good for them. So how should they make a start? Because obviously, it seems like a mountain right now. So how can
okay.
somebody who wants to introduce healthy eating and healthy foods into their children's diet, into the family, how can they make a start?
Okay, good question. So I want to start by changing something in our mindset. This is very important. So just now you mentioned that everyone's like kind of far away from this, and I want to start changing that. No, everyone here, you're not far. You're just one meal away. One meal away of making the change. It's very near. It's in the tip of your hands, in the tip of your fingers. It's right there, right there. Not far, close. So close that you cannot see it. You're one meal away from making a fruitarian meal. Okay? Isn't that relieving? I'm near. I'm close. And the first thing is just try one meal like I did. Try a banana meal. Choose your favorite fruit, the fruit that tastes the best for you, that you love, that you know you're going to enjoy that meal. Just try it. Go to the store, buy the fruit that you love, abundant, right? Take it to your house, put it in the fridge if you like it a little bit cold, and just wait till you're hungry. Wait, because if you eat fruit without being hungry, it's not the same. And if you're snacking all day long, a banana here, an apple here, an orange here, we get tired of the sweetness and the fruit. That just doesn't work. So you go drinking water, allowing yourself to cleanse, to hydrate yourself, go drinking water. And when real hunger appears and you're like, oh my God, I can eat 5 bananas, I can eat a whole pineapple, I can eat 3 mangoes, 4 mangoes. You just go for it and experience it. And that's how close you are to doing a fruitarian meal. And you're going to feel amazing. I already know it. I can assure you, I can guarantee and promise you that you're going to feel great. And that's all you need, to have one experience as I did. And then it's just to do the same. A little tip, which is very important, always with empty stomach. Always with empty stomach. Because if you already have cooked food in your stomach, if you already ate cooked food in the morning for your breakfast, you're gonna get full very fast, and it's not gonna digest well in the stomach, okay? Because fruit digests fast in the stomach. It's between half an hour and an hour to leave your stomach and go to the intestines. And cooked food takes 3-4 hours to go from stomach to intestine. So if you mix them in your intestines, just doesn't work. So I know in India it's nighttime. Some people anyway are in the US. If you're in the US, you can start with your breakfast or with your lunch. Maybe you're not hungry. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Hunger is the message of the body requesting food. So if you're not hungry, don't eat. You're fine. You're not gonna die. And if you're in India, it's almost nighttime. You can start tomorrow, go to sleep, wake up, start drinking water, drink water until you're hungry, as I mentioned, and there, have your fruitarian meal and enjoy it, love it, and see how you feel in your body.
Wonderful. Thank you. So somebody has, what about, like, this is something that I also struggle with, which is I get into this savory cravings, salt cravings, savory cravings. And if I eat some salt, let's say, I end up feeling super dehydrated. I have to have liters and liters of water. So I know that it's not good for me, but yet I crave it, especially if something is cooking and some of your old favorite stuff. And like even just to add a little salt in the salad and stuff like that. So somebody has asked a question about that as well. That what about salt cravings, savory cravings, and even cooked food cravings? How does one handle that? Because there are many people who are trying to be on a fruit diet. They have done many fruit challenges, but they see themselves slipping again and again and again. What could you say to them?
Okay, let's start with salt cravings. Salt craving, it might be different reasons. One, it can be, of course, the salt addiction, because it's the substance more addictive in the world, right? Salt. it's more addictive than cigarettes and alcohol. I don't know. I think that salt is the most addictive substance. But it can also be that your body's needing sodium. So maybe you can check that. You can do a blood test, or you can start eating more tomatoes, more. ¿Cómo se dice apio en inglés?
Celery.
Maybe celery juice. I don't do it. I don't like celery. It's very bitter for me, but I know it helps people. So maybe you're needing sodium. So the craving can come from that, or can come from the addiction. So
can I just say something that interestingly, my sodium used to be a little low when I was eating salt and cooked food. Okay. And then when I went on fruit, like just tiny bit low, like a couple of points, because as it is, it can't be very low, you know, I mean, the body regulates it, but it was a little 2 points lower than normal. And when I went on fruit, I did a fruit challenge for 2 months. And then I did my blood test. My sodium was in normal levels. It had risen by 3 or 4 points with no salt. So these are things that I have observed. For example, my B12 went up when I went on fruit without obviously any supplementation.
Sonia is asking, can it be because of absorption? And totally, when you start eating raw vegan foods, the body starts working as it should be. Things start functioning. The body becomes effective. So many times,
normal.
Exactly, deficiencies.
And that showed me there is plenty of sodium in fruit. You know, we don't have to think about salt being a source of. And in fact, the sodium in salt is inorganic, whereas the sodium in fruits and vegetables and leafy greens is organic, like bioavailable.
I can finish with the salt part, and then you can say how to deal with cooked food. So with the salt, the last thing that I want to say is that science has proven and shown that it touches the same part of the brain as cocaine. So it's very stimulating. It's very like tempting, you know? It's like, I have a little bit of salt. It's like having a little high. So we have to understand that.
It is very stimulating. I completely understand that.
It takes time to clear it from the body.
Yes.
When I do a water fast, maybe you can do a short water fast, 3 days, 7 days. And I notice that then I am not craving salt. But as soon as I have a little bit of salt from maybe sun-dried tomatoes that maybe they added a little bit, or I don't know, maybe the nori sheets, you know, the sushi wraps, they have salt because they comes from the sea, from the ocean. It activates that part of me, and I want more and more and more. So it's kind of difficult, but you can find replacements, maybe with the nori wraps, with sun-dried tomatoes,
the adding lime,
lemon or lime. And then what I recommend the people that I work with is that some people they go to eat cooked food to have salt. And I'm like, and what I recommend is you can, if you're going crazy for salt, just add a little bit to your salad. You know, you can still eat raw with salt. Okay, it's not ideal, but it's a lot better than eating rice and beans and whatever with salt. So if you're not going raw because of salt, remember, you can add salt to your salad a little bit.
I even tell people, if you're that desperate for salt, because in the morning I tell people to eat fruit in the morning. And there was one person who said, oh my God, I'm desperate for salt by 11 o'clock. So I said, okay, just sprinkle a little on your fruit. You know, because some people do in India. I mean, I don't recommend it, but if you're going towards cooked food just because of salt, you can put a little bit on your apples and papayas if it's really salt, you know, that you're craving.
And the last point is that the body goes cleansing, and slowly we stop. We don't crave it so much, you know. Maybe you crave it, but a little bit. It's different than another. It goes cleansing. You know?
I think it's something to do with the adrenal glands as well. Dr. Robert Morse says that if you're craving salt, maybe your adrenal glands are down a little bit. And that I could totally relate to that because I was on steroids for many years because I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And that they give you, I mean, it's corticosteroids, right? So they stimulate the adrenal glands. So definitely my adrenal glands were down. But now I can feel that the cravings are so much lesser. Earlier, my mind used to be hooked on it. But now it's like, once in a while, I'm like, okay, something savory will be nice. And I can manage it without, a lot of salt also, like even just adding some spinach leaves chopped in or something, and lemon and lime, like you were suggesting. So I can
Very good.
see that the adrenals must be recovering because I stopped medication about 4 years ago. And that only happened because of fruit, by the way. I tried
Very,
7 different times. I quit my medication on different protocols. I worked with different coaches, different cleansing things, all that blah, blah. And every time my pains would come back and I would have to go back on my medication. But
very,
when I went on maximum fruit diet and raw vegan, that's when I was able to quit medication, and I knew fruit was the path for me.
very
So,
good. Very good.
of course, the
And
mind still struggles to catch up. The body wants that. The mind is still struggling a little bit. So,
yeah, excuse me, that's the last point I want to mention about
yes,
this
please.
topic is that we, in our mind, we go creating what it's called food associations. So we associate, for example, growing up, maybe when someone you were eating, you were sad or lonely, as a child, and you ate something salty and you felt better, right? Because it stimulates, it's like a drug. And then we go creating associations in our mind automatically. So part of the journey, apart from cleansing the body, is also unraveling these associations, and everything becomes easier. In my path, it wasn't so much with salt; it was more with like a crummy vanilla pudding that my mom used to prepare it. So I had that association with love from mother, and just separating both things in my mind in a meditation, it helped me to stop wanting that vanilla pudding. Now, like the mother love is one thing completely different than a vanilla pudding. Vanilla pudding is vanilla pudding. Love of the mother, love of the mother. Two different things, two
Good
different words.
point.
If they were
Yeah,
the
a lot of
same,
people have sugar cravings, and that's because of a lot of desserts that are traditionally made and festival sweets and things like that.
yeah. So an invitation to everyone is you can write a list of which foods you have associated with love, with family, with friends. Maybe you get together with friends and you were eating pizza. So now for you, pizza means friendship. And if you're feeling lonely and you want friends, and you go and you buy a pizza. This is an example. So make a list of the food associations you have and start trying to de-associate them, like understanding first of all that they're different things. If not, they would have the same name, same words. So do that list, and the other thing is start identifying which are the energies, qualities that you are needing and craving. Oh, I'm needing mother love, I'm needing friendship, I'm needing company.
It's usually an emotional need that we are looking for when we go into food cravings. Catalina, I would love to hear from you about cooked food cravings, if you could throw some light on that, because
Yeah,
it just hooks us.
a couple things I wanted to talk about before I go into that is back to the physicalness about it, not the emotional, is that once we cleanse our body, our taste buds go changing all the time. Every 10 days, our taste buds change. So if we can hold off for 7 days, 10 days without salt, the cravings go way down. So remember that. The first week is the hardest. That's the hardest. And then after 10 days, your taste buds go changing. It's so amazing. So have patience with this lifestyle too. You know, like some people I think want changes too fast or right away. They have to listen to their. Another thing I've learned is we don't always have to listen to our mind. Our mind is not us, right?
That's right.
So that's another thing about cooked food also, is that our mind might say something to us like, oh, this piece of bread is like going to be amazing, or whatever we think it's just our mind. So finding a way to separate our mind from ourselves. We're deep down, we're much more than our mind. Our mind is just there to help us live our lives, but we are not our minds. So working on meditations, working on that separation between mind and my being, and being able to hear your mind and not listen to it and not obey it, right? So that was a huge game changer for me. Being like, oh, okay, I have this craving or I have this thought of this cooked food, but it's just there. And then just like I let it go by like a cloud in the sky a little bit, instead of listening to it and having to obey it, right? So being able to be present with your thoughts, being aware, listening to yourself and being able to say no, or not even say no, but just let it go by. Something else exactly like what Fran was saying is that it's always something emotional. Like it's never, if there's a cooked food craving or desire, it's never physical. It's always emotional. So finding out what it is, like maybe taking a moment, I'm having this craving, closing my eyes and seeing really deep down what it is I'm searching for, and trying to give myself that with my own presence or with my own other resources that don't come from food. And realizing that food is never as good as we have it in our head it's gonna be. Like we always think it's gonna be this amazing thing, and it never ends up being that. And we always end up feeling bad in our body or not as good in our body. And in the end, it's always so much better to feel good. So it's never worth it.
Yes.
That's what I always say to myself.
Yes.
So yeah, going interior, like going and getting to know myself more and seeing what I'm really deeply needing in this moment and seeing how I can give myself. So it's like, you're taking responsibility 100% for your life. So it's a process.
I have done a lot of work on myself to understand what am I looking for. Like I was at one point really addicted to roasted peanuts. And I remember this moment when I'm standing in the kitchen and eating those roasted peanuts, yet again, going there where I don't want to go. And I was just in that moment really mindful and asking myself, what is it really doing for me? Is it the crunch? Is it the salt? What is it? And this answer popped up in my mind that it's stimulation. I'm looking for stimulation. So then I asked myself, why do I want to be stimulated? Like, is my life boring? Is it that I'm not happy with myself? You know, like that kind of inquiry. Can you resonate with what I'm sharing?
Yeah, I was thinking that when we were talking about how salt is so stimulating, is that that's what all of us are wanting with this cooked food, is the stimulation.
So
and
what
I was
are you
thinking
wanting to be stimulated from? If you can tell me a little bit more from your experience, what is it? What is this about? And how do we unhook ourselves from that? Because it's like a madness that overcomes us. And we find ourselves standing in front of the fridge or in front of the cupboard and stuffing our faces, despite knowing that this is not good for us. This is going to make us, feel uncomfortable or whatever ailments we might be dealing with. So can you speak a little bit about this?
Yeah, I was just connecting it with like TV shows like that children watch. Why do children like TV? Because it stimulates them. Like we just want the stimulation.
A little high.
It's like a little high that we want to experience. And
Because we are not comfortable with ourselves, right? In our bodies, with our minds, and so on.
Like we're not satisfied maybe, or we want that extra, yeah, we want that to have that feeling for some reason. And it's really interesting that the people I feel like that are the happiest in the world are the people that are less stimulated. Like think of the monks or the people that just have super sedentary, simple lives.
Simple.
They're so content, right? So we're always trying to like find something else because we're not enough. Because what we have is not enough. So I think this feeling of worthiness and feeling like enough and connecting with that and really feeling like complete in your life and content with what we have is could be helpful.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's no different from any other addiction. It's the same reason people turn to alcohol or cigarettes or pornography or social media or shopping or whatever it is. So cooked food is similar actually, because again, everybody is looking to be stimulated. It's just they choose a different way to be stimulated in all these examples. It's
I,
just that cooked food is so acceptable. Nobody questions it. It's not, people would be saying, you guys are crazy calling it an addiction. The whole world is eating it. Do you think everybody is wrong? Like, it's a socially acceptable addiction. In fact, we feed it to our children. We tell other people, oh, don't worry, forget about your diet today. Have something, live a little, indulge yourself. Like we encourage each other. We never encourage, for other addictions, we don't encourage that much. But for food, it's like, come on, have a little bit. It's so
Yeah.
tasty. Be hooked like I'm hooked. And it's your own family members who do it.
The number one biggest addiction in the world.
drug.
Yeah.
So can I mention something I believe, and at least in my journey, and I truly believe this, that more than an emotional thing, it's a spiritual thing. I think that when we are spiritual empty, we start looking outside of us for things. It's kind of connected with emotional, but I think it's more like a spiritual, like a soul feeling. When we feel like spiritually content, at least me, I don't look for outside stimulation than things, because I'm like really happy at a soul level, which is a little bit deeper than the emotional level. Emotions come and go, this and that, but the soul is something like that sits here in the chest area, in the heart chakra. And when I'm feeling content spiritually, I just don't need anything. I'm happy. But as soon as I disconnect from that, I can find myself looking for a little high, right? To feel good, to feel that contentment, which at the end, yes, you can have with food, with shopping, with little things. You have the high, and then the low comes and goes. It's very, very temporal and more superficial, which is okay. I'm not judging the superficial things. It's part of life. But if you really want to be free from the cooked food addiction, I think it's key. You can be very disciplined and very kind of like strict with yourself and follow your habits, but at the end that's going to be a little bit hard to sustain with time. But by the other hand, if you focus on being spiritually connected and happy and content through being in touch with yourself, then when you open your eyes, you're like, oh, I just don't need anything. I don't need this high. I'm feeling good and okay and happy.
Yeah, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, we have to stop looking outside of ourselves for happiness. Like everything we have, everything we need is inside of us. So connecting with your true nature and everything, just being with yourself, like closing your eyes and meditating is one of the most pleasurable activities. And
Yes.
There's no
Indeed.
stimulation.
Feels so good just to yes, to breathe and feel yourself, feel the being that you are, the presence who you are. It feels, it's so nourishing.
Yeah, and start living, like, I started trying to live from that feeling, like when I go out or if I go to a social event, like live in that and embody that, so that kind of like I build a wall around myself and I'm happy no matter what happens, no matter what I'm ingesting, like I don't need anything else from the outside. So embodying that completeness and spiritual connection, I think.
Spiritual connection, yes, that would be the bottom line.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Let's switch gears a little bit because there are some parents over here who are asking that the most, like how to get the kids to eat a little bit healthier. So if you could give us your top 2, 3 ideas, whatever. So for example, one of them is like somebody wrote that supermarket and mall visits are the toughest with kids, she says. So is there anything that you can say about that, or any other pointers for people to get their kids on a slightly more healthy path or a more healthy path? What would you suggest?
I don't know how it is in India, but here in Costa Rica, there's lots of fruit markets, fruit and vegetable markets.
We also have lots of fruit and vegetable
Yeah,
markets.
but we just don't go to the market. And if we do, it's like
go directly to the fruit aisle.
Just go right to the produce. And we try to avoid the supermarket. Last night we were going for a walk, Summer and I, and we passed a supermarket and she wanted to go in and I let her, and it was a huge mistake. So I just try to stay out of there, and if I do go, just the produce section, like just skip right to it.
Also, yeah, when Summer, I'm in the supermarket and she grabs, I don't know, whatever, like crackers or whatever, I explain to her, if you eat these, you're gonna have a boo-boo in your stomach. It's gonna hurt your stomach. And I repeat that every time that she grabs something. Every time I repeat that, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you. So she starts associating that with not feeling good in your body instead of, no, you can't. No, we don't eat this. No, this is not good. It's more about the physical sensation. If you eat this, you're gonna feel this and that.
Or if you guys are already, sorry, did you want to finish?
No, well, I would just say if it's something that's like non-vegan, I just always go back to how animals are friends. Like if she wants cheese or ice cream, I explain to her why, that I say that the animals are, it comes from cows, or it comes from or the egg comes from chickens, and that they're friends, and she always understands that. Always.
Yes, and when we pass through the meat section, I usually do yuck, wah, and she starts like associating that, and now she does it by herself. When we're passing there, she's like, like a game. But I understand that maybe some people here already have more kids that are like 7, 8 years old, and they're doing the transition. So it's different if you're starting from a blank page.
Even the people are not on the path, like you guys are, and you're able to do that. But when people themselves are not on the path, then how can they?
Of course,
overall, for the whole family to get into this lifestyle, what steps would you recommend?
Yes, of course, the parents need to be the first ones, right, to do the change. And what I recommend is start, doing gradual changes. If you change from one day to the other, everything you can do it for you, but for the child, maybe it's a little bit more difficult, especially because they're not choosing it. So I would do it gradual with them, like start incorporating more salads. Yeah, and you can make like salad with a little bit of what I call like a touch, like a little something of rice or this or that, like It's like this was cooked and this was raw. Go doing like this, you know, slowly, slowly, with time, with time, with time, and then suddenly you realize everything changed. So that's what I recommend.
And trying to eliminate like oil and salt from the cooking. So if they are gonna eat something, like try to make it just as natural as possible. So if you're gonna have your veggies just without oil, steamed without salt. I don't know if the kids are gonna like it at first, but after a while they will. They'll go changing for sure. We have friends here that their sons from the United States just moved here, and they adapted. They have a fruit-based diet here in the States. The sons, they're I think 10 and 12. They were eating everything. And here now they're having fruit all day and steamed veggies at night, no salt, no oil, and they're really happy with it. They're feeling really good. So it goes adapt like
Very good.
it goes they go adapting. Kids are really adaptive. At first they're gonna fight it, but you can explain to them why you chose this or why you're doing this for them. And
you can slowly build it up, you know, bring it in, make some delicious salads, you know, find some good recipes that the kids like, and just go on increasing a little bit.
starting with breakfast, maybe starting with breakfast.
Yeah, starting with breakfast of fruits. Yeah, that's always a good idea. And actually, I've seen that younger kids naturally love fruit.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
You know, I remember that once I was staying with a cousin of mine, and she had two young daughters. One was about 4 and the other was about 7 or something like that. And I remember that the younger one, like, I was eating fruit, okay? The younger one wanted to eat fruit, but her mother said no, and you have to eat this paratha. It's like a bread that we make in India. And she then asked her mother, how come Masi, auntie, can eat fruit and I can't? And my heart broke, you know, that the kid wants to eat fruit, but the mother believes that she should be putting some cooked wheat flour bread with oil and ghee and all of that into her child. And, you know, it's such a strong you know, programming or wiring in the mind that mothers sometimes, I feel, don't feel like they've fed their kids unless they have cooked, you know, like the act of cooking. Like, how can I just chop a fruit and give it to the kid? I have to cook, I have to prepare, I have to whatever. Anything you could say about this?
I know that, well, you're gonna save, if you do start living this lifestyle, you're gonna save so much time. This is nothing, I'm just thinking of how much time the food cooking, preparing food takes. And yeah, I think people think that the food that I prepare for you shows you how much like love I have for you. My mother, I know, like, she expresses her love through cooking for sure. That's like, and shows love. And so when she just has a mango or she just gives me a melon, she's not giving me as much love. But so it's that mindset. That mindset that I'm being actually the most loving with my kids when I'm giving them fruit. And another thing we can do is finding the fruit that they love and really giving them that and giving them the power to choose. Like, oh, what do you want today? Do you want watermelon or do you want mango? So giving them options also. And that's good. Giving kids love options, right? And there's lots of different ways, like smoothies, the banana ice cream, mango ice cream. There's lots of fun things. Yeah. And so changing your mindset is going to help change your child's mindset also. And so you being convinced that this is the best way, that this is like the life that we were meant to have, is going to be much more helpful for your kids. Like if you're convinced and you're set on that and you're sure about it, it's going to be much easier to raise your kids this way.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say that change it. Lots of work in your mindset and working on your false beliefs. We work a lot with false beliefs. So
Habits.
yeah, false beliefs and habits, and finding what beliefs you have, write them down in your journal, look at them, and then writing the truths. Like what is true?
What is true? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about coffee and tea. You know, they're addicted to coffee or tea, and how can they come out of that?
Yeah. We usually tell people to gradually come out just because it causes a migraine, you know, for a couple days. Some people don't want to deal with that. But also when you start living this lifestyle, you're not going to need, the reason why people are needing these stimulants and to need the coffee is because they don't sleep well or they wake up tired, and that's usually from not receiving the nutrients that we're needing. So once you start this lifestyle, just trust that you're not going to need it anymore.
Yes.
And you can really gradually, you know, come off of it. You can go from a coffee.
So many people in my community, you know, they get results so quickly. Within days, they feel the inflammation going away. They feel more energy. They feel more ease in their digestion. They experience brain fog lifting. It's amazing. Actually, you know, I wanted to touch upon one more thing, because I remember that I had a moment when I was doing your program. I had this moment when Fran spoke about leukocytosis, and I had just eaten something cooked. And as he was talking about it, I experienced it in my body. So I just wanted to, you know, you to share with the people who are here today about your understanding of leukocytosis and what actually happens when we eat cooked food.
Sure, of course. This is a great discovery, a great teaching, and it reveals a lot of information. So before, like in the 1940s, this scientists and doctors had found that when humans were eating, the white blood cells would multiply and rise by a lot, which that is called leukocytosis. Comes from leukocytes, which are the white blood cells. So they're like, oh, every time humans eat, this is what happens. Which, by the way, for the body to create, multiply excessive amount of white blood cells is a great expense of energy. So you get tired, and then the body has to, lower it back again. And leukocytosis happens, it's a natural process of the body when there is an infection, a disease, or there is some type of risk for the body. It has to multiply the white blood cells because they're the defenses of the body. Until one day, a Russian scientist, doctor, started doing some different tests and discovered that by eating raw foods, leukocytosis didn't happen. It only happened with cooked foods. So what does this reveal? That when you eat cooked food, you are also consuming certain amount of toxins, because when you pass anything through fire, the molecules change. There's a chemical reaction that creates toxins, so you're eating the toxins. That's why the body has to multiply the white blood cells, the defenses of the body, to fight the toxins. Which, by the other hand, when you're eating raw foods, as there isn't that chemical reaction created by fire, your toxins are not created, so leukocytosis doesn't happen. The body doesn't have to create thousands of white blood cells to defend itself. So this proves that the body's natural way of eating is raw food. Okay, we're not created to consume cooked food. It gives us an indication of what's our natural diet. And it also shows us that one of the reasons why many people get tired after eating cooked, not only because energy goes to digestion, but because also the body has to spend energy creating thousands of white blood cells, which in raw foods doesn't happen. And the last point is that another reaction of the body is that when you eat cooked food, the body raises a little bit its temperature, body temperature, to destroy the toxins. It's what I call a little fever. Okay, it raises the temperature to destroy toxins, and also because the body, in order to create white blood cells, it needs to raise its temperature. So it's like a little fever. So when you're eating cooked, you're gonna be more hot, you're gonna be like people start sweating.
I know exactly what you're saying because I've experienced this.
And when you're eating raw foods, your body temperature stays its natural state. You don't create that little fever, so you don't experience that hotness, that heat. And it's great. It's a great, also, this is a side benefit. We know, so all the time we meet people, I'm so hot, this hot, and we're totally fine, totally fine. And of course, I'm not gonna explain, oh, you ate cooked food, and no. But we know that's the reason, right?
Does that answer your question, Nandini, about the mucoid?
About leukocytosis, yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, it's a great teaching. So know that next time if someone eats cooked food, probably you're gonna feel more hot and you're gonna feel more tired because your body's producing white blood cells to defend itself. And yes, it's an unnecessary thing. And think about it. Most people eat cooked food every day of their life, multiple times a day. So the body's creating white blood cells going down, going up, going down, going up, going down. It just doesn't work on the long term.
Sometimes people ask me, we have about 6 or 7 minutes left and then we're going to let you go. But sometimes people say that, oh, my father or grandfather is 95 years old and he's still eating all the dairy and all the fried and all the thing. And apart from a little constipation, there's nothing wrong with him. Or my mother is so-and-so. And, what do you say about these things?
Can I answer? So health, let's start by understanding that health is not only diet and food, it's about lifestyle. It's about lifestyle. So many people that live till 100 years, they also generally, they have a healthy lifestyle apart from diet. Usually, I'm saying usually, they sleep well, they go to sleep early, they move their bodies, in some way. I don't mean they go to the gym, but they're relative active.
Yeah.
They have social connections with people. Generally, they're happier people. But yes, also then diet and entering into diet, I would love to see those people, how their bodies would have been if they ate cooked. If they ate raw.
Yeah.
Maybe they would even have had better bodies. Maybe no eyeglasses. Maybe they would have been more vital, maybe more mental clarity. So there's probably more potential for those people. And the last piece is that just life is a mystery sometimes. It's just some things are difficult to explain. Why some people eat maybe fried or cooked and they live till 95 years old, and for those things, this mystery, the understanding is that that's not the general rule. If you eat fried and cooked, you will decrease your health, your vitality, you will create disease. Even if every once in a while there's someone who makes it till 95, relative okay. Okay, that's not the general rule. So we cannot take that
Yeah.
unique person and make it as a rule of thumb.
Actually,
And
somebody asked Orwell Douglas, who's also, I've had him on a fruitful conversation before, and he said that the goal is not to live longer and longer. That's fine. That's whatever happens. But the goal is to be free of a physical pain and discomfort and mental suffering. And
Yeah.
if you can be free of physical pain and mental suffering and die happy and healthy at 75, rather than keep dragging the last years of your life on medications and in suffering and all that, that's not the aim. It's much better to die healthy early than to live sick longer. And I thought that was pretty cool, to explain like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
sorry.
when you sorry in Indian, I was thinking that like the goal, what is the goal? Is the goal just to be alive, or is it to feel the best we can in our body? And so I would like to see these people how they feel in their body really and how they're living, like if they're happy and feeling good without any pain or medicine. So yeah, I think my goal personally isn't to live to a certain amount, is to like live my best life right now in the present moment and feeling as good as I can.
Beautiful. So I'd like
Yes,
to hear just some closing thoughts from you. Like, what is the one message that you would like to give to people who are listening today, whether they are parents or just for themselves? What one message would you like to send into the world today through this talk, and anything else you want to add?
we can share a short message each. So my message is that diet is a part of our life. It's not everything. It's not the ultimate goal. It's just a part of the human experience, and that it would be good to start aiming to develop our human potential. We are an incredible species with so many gifts and skills, and diet will help us to develop our potential. So it's not only to feel good, to have energy, is then what do I do with that? How do I want to serve the world? What do I want to do with my time here on earth? So food will give you the right fuel to walk your journey with more health, with more vitality, with more happiness. But it's a bigger picture of developing our potential and becoming better human beings. That's my message.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I think like in regards to what we're talking about today with families, I would say it's never too late. So it's never too late to improve your child's health, your health. Like even if you think it's right now so hard because your kid's so hooked to this food, kids are very adaptable. They go,
Joy.
kids are very adaptable. They go all the time changing. It's part of their life every single day. So have faith in that. Have faith that you can definitely improve your diet, your children's diet. It's never too late. And we're here to help you on the way. If you need any extra tips or any extra support, we're here to help you if you need us.
Can you just tell people if they want to sort of be in touch with you or work with you, where can they find the information? Where should they go? Who can they connect with?
Yeah, maybe we have on Instagram they can find us. Maybe you can give them our Instagram accounts.
Yeah,
And then
you can just put it in the chat,
our
for everyone.
We also have a Facebook group called Fruitarian Lifestyle. And
Okay, you
yes.
just send me all the links and I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put this on YouTube. I'll put it in the show notes, and I'll also email everybody who had registered for this
Great.
webinar.
Yeah, because sometimes it takes a little more support or a little more
Yes. In
guidance.
fact, there were some questions. I lose weight, and what should I eat before gym and all that. So I think just working with somebody who is knowledgeable about this path, is walking this path, and having a coach, in your journey, so you don't get scared when you have detox symptoms and things like that. We didn't touch upon detox and all that today because that was not the main topic of conversation. But I would highly recommend that people work with a coach, and Catalina and Fran are also coaches. I'm also a health coach. So, work with different coaches, get different perspectives, learn from everybody, because this is a new path, this is going against the mainstream. And the more you can learn, the more knowledgeable you are, the more you will trust your body, the less you will get afraid or unsettled with all these random mainstream questions about protein and calcium and this, that, and the other. So it is I think it's a path that is probably not everybody is attracted to it, but it is a path for the people who are really interested in understanding about true health and experiencing what their body can feel like. This is what I tell people, that just try it for a few days and just experience what your body can feel like on your natural diet. So that's something I would like to say, even if it's for breakfast every morning, or it's for a couple of days or 5 days, something like that. Do it as a fast, or do it as a some sort of a pledge for some time, just to experience how your body can feel, and then nature and your body will themselves guide you.
Awesome. Exactly. And I would say for like leaving touches is just trust in the power of nature, trust in this lifestyle, and start living instead of from a fear-based way. Start living, you can change that ship. A lot of people live in fear. And this lifestyle, you need to start living in trust and listening to the body. So yeah, let's move out of the fear paradigm.
If we can do it, everyone can do it.
People can express whatever they want to say, and if people can come on video, that'll be great. You can unmute and say, give your thanks. I'm very grateful for both of you for giving your time. I know that it's very early in the morning and you have to look after the kids and everything, so thank you very much from me for being here as our guests. And maybe somebody wants to share. Go ahead, just unmute and speak.
It's a very inspiring talk. Thanks, Fran and Katalina. I've been on this.
What are your main takeaways? If you tell that,
My
I think
main
it's very nice.
takeaways, we really have to get in touch with ourselves, our spiritual selves, to not have food be this, this monster on our head that it has become, at least for me. Yeah, thank you.
And I think one of my big takeaways was what Katalina said about separating the mind from what it's asking for, and really observing that, you are not your thoughts, and you don't have to act on everything that the mind is asking for. Anybody else would like to share?
Yeah, my takeaway is that, when you eat a cooked food, I mean, your body will tell you exactly, what it feels about. And when you eat a raw and the fruits, the body will behave differently. So I think the body is the most intelligent part, and it can tell you exactly what you should be eating and what you should not be eating. You don't have to go to anybody else. You don't have to go to any doctor to ask, any nutrition to ask for it.
Yeah, your body is your greatest teacher, your greatest doctor, your greatest friend. Absolutely. Lovely. Anybody else would like to share?
Yes,
Thank you,
I'd like
Naveen.
to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And also, what resonated a lot, everything resonated, but what did especially resonate is that when the spiritual aspect of it, the fact that, you really are enough and you don't need to go looking outside of yourself, and especially for this kind of food. Yeah, cooked food, etc., just to satisfy yourself. So thank you so very much. It's fantastic.
All right. Thank you. If nobody has anything else to share, so thank you. Falguni, you are muted. So if you
Thank
want to say
you.
something, just unmute yourself.
Just wanted to say really a very, very big thank you to coming up in such an early morning and explaining so many things which we resonate, mostly all of the things. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Everybody can unmute and say thank you, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fran and Katalina. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank